got 2 guys heading off to a clearing to see if they can get some big game going on.
So just standing here chit-chatting by the fire and hear something like, what is that? Get out there and listen. You hear a hog grunting going down right down to this within 50 yards of camp. That's amazing. It's great. Maybe I'll get him on the way up. Maybe. Be sweet.
No kill.
No confirmed kills?
No kill.
Get back out there.
Let's go. Dude, when you march on back where we were,
Yeah.
it looks like World War II
Really?
from hogs, yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Just didn't see any.
Just didn't see any, but like just millions of tracks and just tons of little pits where you can tell they bedded down and wallowed around.
I bet they're close by there.
Oh yeah, I mean there's fresh tracks. It looks like they were there last night.
Yeah. We heard one right here grunting.
Did you?
Tried to.
So now everybody's breaking down camp and we're gonna start working our way out. The idea was that, you know, coming into this thing, the whole kind of experimental process was a lot of people have an illusion of heading out into the woods and saying like, you know, I've got my pack full of gear and goods, like I'll live off the land. But realistically, I think that between this half dozen guys with weapons, modern weapons, we killed a squirrel, right? Like a single squirrel. And if we were out here long enough, we stayed a few more days, one of us would come up with something, like it would happen. Something would happen probably. But even that, with that said, you're still living off meager rations, you know, and it's gonna be a rough go. And living like this, some people have the illusion that they could just live out of their backpack, whatever they carry in their back, but living like this is it's not very comfortable. It's not a comfortable existence. We're following laws and regulations, and
Like if
you wouldn't have to, yeah, in that situation.
There's turkeys you could shoot.
We could have killed some turkeys, yeah, that are not in season
Woodpecker.
right now. Yeah, woodpeckers. We could have shot some woodpeckers, yeah, for sure. I think that a lot of the people that'll watch this video are prepper type people, and they're thinking, you know, economic collapses and Great Depressions and, you know, I don't know, whatever the situation may be, where, you know, food is not plentiful, there's civil unrest and people are having to move and that kind of stuff and have to supply your own needs. And realistically, this lifestyle is
Not happening.
It ain't easy.
It's not easy, and it's just really not a long-term, very short-term solution to a problem, maybe, you know. Get great shots of your keister, Nick. This is good.
Oh, sorry, dude. I keep forgetting.
One job, Nick.
I'm not a cameraman.
One job. Let's hear the real one, the good one. I haven't got that on film yet.
The stuck pig?
Yeah, I want to hear that one. The pig in distress.
So the rooting is like that, right?
That's so good.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's perfect.
When you actually boil down, what you should always enter the woods or an unknown situation with is fire, however you want to play that role. A cup or something to cook in, a pot, and a shelter, some minimal shelter. That's your 3 pillars of an essential adventure.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on other guys that say that, oh, like, you know, a knife, if you could only take one thing?
Yeah, you wouldn't take a knife. What do you do with a knife?
Yeah.
Unless you're highly skilled
Yeah.
at starting fires.
Even then. Yeah, even then. How long does it take to do a primitive fire if you only have a knife?
And you're dependent on weather.
Yeah. If it's pouring down rain, then it ain't gonna happen.
And I think the other thing is, you know, it's you've got to be competent. You have all the best gear in the world. If you're not competent or really know how to utilize its potential,
Right.
then it's probably dead weight for you.
Yeah.
being aligned with competent people, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a pooling of resources. Like this trip was perfect, right? I was thinking, I don't know if you see my pack. It's pretty small.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that if we weren't pooling resources.
Right. You don't have an axe. You don't have a saw. Yeah.
So
I don't have the bigger pot. You've got that. Yeah.
So it makes for a really interesting, and then, that's when coordination is important because it lowers everybody's workload.
Right. Yeah, so coming in, Jason, how confident were you that we were going to be able to land some game?
Very unconfident.
Very unconfident.
Yeah. Only because it's old forest, and typically old forest, there's not a lot of animals in it.
Yeah.
And I know that
but we discovered a lot of sign, right?
we discovered a lot of sign. But
More than you thought?
yeah, more than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, humans have developed like ideal habitats for deer and squirrels and yeah.
I mean, down on the hunting club, we build stuff for them, right?
You know, the best place to hunt would be like the neighborhoods.
Yep.
You know, like they have like the bird feeders out and like the gardens that the deer love to chew on. Like that would be the ideal place to hunt.
The bears too.
Yeah, and they're used to people, so they're not even scared of you. Like that'd be the.
Yeah, the scent's not an issue.
If everybody gets this idea, suddenly like there is food shortages, the deer will be annihilated, just decimated in weeks. You miss a couple meals, suddenly that deer looks pretty the one you've been feeding in your backyard that you're like, oh, look at the little baby deer, suddenly turns into steaks. I used to hunt with a bow in my buddy's backyard. It wasn't like suburb neighborhood, like track houses, but there were houses. I mean, you could see houses around. I was pretty confident that we would have got a handful of squirrels at least. I wasn't confident in the big game because my thinking is that we're going to be bringing a lot of scent in here, whether we're quiet or not. We're going to be making noise, disrupting the area. Yeah.
Think about a squirrel and what he.
Keep your eye out for that tripod, guys. $20. It's got your name on it.
What do you think? He's in front.
That's right.
When you see the tripod, shoot it.
That would be funny, but I would be upset, but I would laugh at the same time.
Good to learn an alternative way to start a fire if needed.
Was it easier or harder than you thought it was going to be to start a fire with?
Probably easier, but probably more so because I had good direction for the
that's
setup.
true.
So,
what if you didn't have instructions and you just had to? I said, "Here's a ferro rod. Good luck."
I mean,
you'd eventually got it.
I feel like I got it eventually, but probably not as quickly.
Hopefully before it rained.
Yeah.
yeah. Chris is the only one that brought basically a deer rifle. Something designed for big game hunting, a 30-06 scoped rifle. And if, let's say you had to do this for real, this was live or die, not just having a good time with your boys. Would you still bring that, banking on the big game, or would you bring something like shotgun or 22 and hope for lots of small game?
I think I'd definitely bring a shotgun.
Would you?
I think it's more universal.
Yeah.
So you could shoot a slug, you could shoot,
That's my thinking, yeah.
Several different rounds, right?
You can kill everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that would be, I would choose that.
Yeah, I always say, a shotgun, you can barely kill a chipmunk.
Yeah.
With the right loads at the right distances, or you could kill a polar bear. You know what I mean? Same gun, just different ammo selections. And I think that there's nothing else that can do that besides a shotgun. On the show alone, the past 2 seasons, I guess, the guy that got big game won.
Yep.
So there is something to that gamble, right? Maybe you can't get all of the small game, but you've got the most effective tool to get the big thing,
right?
That will see you through a long duration. So I don't know, maybe there's something to it. It's a gamble, but it could pay off big.
So I learned a lot just watching you rig up the shelters and tying the rope off and everything. That'll come in handy doing tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Setting up shelter, tying down loads. million different uses for that, I think.
Yeah, specifically like the trucker's hitch.
Trucker's
Being
hitch.
able to winch
Yeah.
it down real tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is why you don't trust GPS exclusively. We've all had experiences. I just dropped a pin. There's a deer stand here. And when I drop the pin, it's, as you can see, it's, I don't know how far, but it's a few miles from Decatur, Georgia.
And how far are we from Decatur, Georgia?
I don't know, a day's drive.
Day's drive.
So
at least a couple hour drive for sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, we know this area, so we're pretty good, but that's the problem with technology.
Don't trust that. It is a tradition to head to Waffle House after the adventure, so I think that's what is in store for us next.
Thanks, Jason.
So we might have a little
And survival dispatch.
Yeah, that's right. We might have a little clip of that. Us at the Waffle House digging in. But thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Say goodbye.
See ya. I'm gonna take the All-Star too, but can I sub the waffle for hash browns?
I think so. Pretty apparently.
I can't do that.
No.
But come on. All right. Well, just the All-Star still, but let me sub my grits for hash browns then.
Yeah, you can do that.
Is there anything I can sub the waffle for?
Biscuit and gravy.
Yes. Definitely that. Yes. Now we're talking. And on my hash browns, what is it? The onions and cheese is like covered in chunk. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Covered in chunk.
Oh yeah, I'll do that too.
You've done it already. You should make it more
And then my eggs.
It'll make the video better.
Yes. Thank you.
And then on my eggs, over medium, please.
Over medium?
Yeah.
Plain waffle, okay?
Yeah, plain waffle. Raisin toast. Or, let's go with sausage today.
Alrighty. For you?
I don't even know what I want anymore.
Take two. Can I get a
Christmas from Waffle House.